Hello, and welcome to episode 9.
9? I can't believe we're already there.
I know.
Only one episode left after this, right? Before the end of our season?
Yes. Don't worry, we're not like going anywhere permanently,
Yeah.
but we are finishing up this season at 10 episodes, so...
And we'll take a little break, come back for autumn,
Yep.
nice and renewed and refreshed.
Yes.
And we'll have lots of different sweaters in store for you for your autumn knitting,
Yes,
I'm
we
sure.
will. We're also gonna like tighten a few things up
Yep.
on the podcast, which we're excited about. So we're gonna take August to plan all of that.
Yeah, we're really excited. We've got a lot of cool things coming next season, I think.
Definitely. I think, yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so... What's
Wine
the first?
tasting.
Wine tasting.
Yes, that's how we start, right?
That is how we start. Okay, I brought the card this time.
Woohoo!
So this is a bottle that I got in my Good Pair Days box. I think we mentioned them before.
Yeah.
It's a wine subscription. And yes, so I don't know when exactly I received this one, and it's not focusing. But it's Casa del Arco Tinto, a product of Spain. So we're having a red today.
Yep. I know Carmen and I are actually talking about this over the weekend about how we haven't, I don't think, reviewed any reds. Maybe we reviewed one, I feel like.
No, if we did.
Yeah.
I feel like we should be having like a running tally of what we
Yeah,
reviewed.
exactly. Yeah.
Actually, I should go back and do that.
Yeah,
Like,
we
write
should
it down.
get like a little board that we can put behind us.
Yeah, we have a little
With
whiteboard of
stars.
like, and we rank them across the season.
Yeah.
See, an
that'd be
idea for
great.
next
See?
season.
There we go. We already have one coming.
Yeah. All right, so I've got the little card that gives me info. The origin of this grape, nobody really knows.
Oh, great.
The tradition of blending dates back to millennia when grape varieties were co-planted together, mainly grown in all over the world. so far this is very specific.
Yeah. What grape type is this? Casa del Arco.
No, that's the name
That's
of
the name of the thing.
Yeah. It's a light blend of Spanish grapes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why they're from all over, because it's a blend.
It's a blend. Right, key facts. Blended wines are nothing new to many of us. They could be red, white, rosé, or sparkling. The fact of the matter is, if you've drunk wine before, the chances are you've had a blended wine. Simply put, this is a blend of more than one grape variety. Whilst this might not actually be a grape variety in its own right, it is important to highlight some of the world's most famous blended wines and regions. We start with Bordeaux, an area in southwest France that relies almost exclusively on blended red and white wine, utilizing a number of grape varieties. Then we have Rhône in southern France, notably the southern part of the region, famous for blended red and white wines under the Côtes du Rhône banner, or perhaps Champagne.
Yep. Champagne's a blend. I didn't know that.
The
That's
world's
crazy.
most famous fizz is predicated on the use of and blending of 3 core grape varieties. That said, perhaps the spiritual home of blended wine is France, but it is now almost impossible to find a wine-producing country anywhere in the world that doesn't blend. I did know that about Champagne because I did a Champagne tour,
Ooh,
like a weekend.
pretty fancy.
Yeah, in Champagne country for my
lovely.
30th
Yeah.
birthday. It was a gift. That was delightful.
That sounds like a great gift. Whoever got you that gift was knew their target audience.
Yeah, it was a very good gift. I got to go with my bestie, and yeah, we had a really nice time. Also, I had one of the best meals of my life because it was this like all-inclusive package.
Sounds right up my alley.
Yeah, it was very good. I forget the name of the company that we went through. Fun fact.
Okay.
Traditionally in Bordeaux, winemakers were permitted to blend up to 5 grapes to make their red wines: Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Petit Verdot, and Malbec. But things have changed and the introduction of a few more varieties is now come into place.
There we go.
I actually just learned about Cabernet Franc
We did.
Friday.
And it's Carmen's new favorite grape.
It is my new favorite grape. Right, so, oh boy, this is a juicy little number.
Oh, we
is
love
what
a
it says
juicy
in the-
little number.
We do love a juicy little number. And all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Casa del Arco's red blend is brimming with bright red fruit character and notes of tar and licorice. This is easy drinking and fresh with a nice vibrancy and taut, grippy texture on the finish.
Okay, interesting.
All right, so it is dry, high fruitiness, medium body, medium acidity, medium tannins, medium alcohol, no oak.
All right. Sounds like a medium type wine.
It sounds like a table wine.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
Like, you drink this with literally anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
So,
I feel like it's going to be a really good sipping wine for a podcast.
I think so as well. So,
All right, cheers.
Ooh, it smells nice.
Yep, that is a good old Classico table wine.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that you would want, like, any restaurant in Italy or Spain that has like a little outdoor seating or something.
And just get served in a jar.
Yep,
on
in
your
a
table.
little half carafe.
Yep. Or you have at home, which is like whatever you're making.
Yep, exactly.
Some pasta, some like chicken and rice, something like whatever.
Definitely. Something that you don't have to think too much about in terms of pairings.
Just drinkable. Very nice.
It's interesting though because it is very fruity. But I can see what they mean about that, like, tar element.
Yes.
It's a little bit sticky.
Yes. It has that, like, at the end a little bit. But not too much.
No, not too much. It's, like, very inoffensive.
Yes.
And I'm not somebody who really likes a lot of tannins in my wine. So I don't really like that kind of stickiness that sits on your palate afterwards. But this is, like, one of those ones that, like, as you drink it, that's where the stick happens, and then it kind of evaporates.
It's also warming my insides on this rainy, miserable, but warm day here in Bath.
It's been like that for a while now in Bath. I think most of the UK.
We're having like September weather.
Yeah.
And it's July.
Yeah, not a fan. We're hoping for more sun next week.
Are we? I don't ever watch the weather report. So
well, I'm going away next week, so
you're paying attention.
Yeah, I'm like kind of praying to the gods that the sun comes out. A few people at work and I kind of maybe did a little bit of a ritual on Friday to try to get some warm weather going. So we'll see if it works.
Well, if we get some warm weather, we'll thank you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
How funny. What else did we do on Friday? Well, you know what did happen on Friday though, is it was raining all day.
All day, like massive downpour.
Like, just absolutely soaking wet.
Yeah.
And then you and I were going somewhere at 5:30. And it stopped raining.
It did. And where that someplace was?
We went to Refillable here in Bath, which is a refillable shop.
Yep. They have like they're like a no waste, no plastic kind of shop. So you bring your own like little containers and you weigh them and then you can fill them up with like loads of goodies and stuff. But recently.
So like flour, seeds, spices, which I feel like in every supermarket growing up in the States, you had a section like that.
Oh, yeah. I remember, like, you could get those little, like, chocolates and stuff from them. Yeah.
Also dried banana chips.
Yeah, dried banana chips.
Yes, definitely.
My God.
But it's, like, a new concept here.
Yeah. I think that it also, like, died a little bit in the States.
Possibly.
Like, I think places like Whole Foods and Wegmans and, they're the kinds of places that would still have them. But like places like Stop and Shop and Giant. Sorry, I was distracted by Peaches.
Yeah, me too. She's being weird today, so I brought her to the shop with. She's doing weird things.
Yeah.
I don't know Stopman or Giant, by the way.
Stop and Shop.
Okay.
Stop and Shop.
That must be an
Giant.
East Coast.
Those are East Coast ones. Wegmans is a newish one to the East Coast, as in like in the last 10 years. Newish. I didn't grow up with it. But anyway, so it's this refillable shop, and recently they just started carrying wine.
Nice.
And they carry like organic and natural wine. But one of the coolest things I like didn't even realize until we were there on Friday was that they're doing refillable wine. Yeah. So like a table white and a table red.
Yep. In a box that you can just like bring a bottle in and fill.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. So like if on like. And I think that's actually really great because sometimes like I want a glass of wine with dinner, but I don't want to open a whole bottle.
Yeah.
So. You know, you can just go and get like a half carafe.
Just go down with your mason jar.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm ready to go.
Well, because you also live like right across the street.
Yeah, I do. It's literally right across the street from my flat.
You can just take your wine glass.
Yeah, exactly. That's dangerous.
But they did a wine tasting with a local wine merchant.
Which we always love a local wine merchant.
We do. And they've had some very bad luck because their shop across town burnt down a few weeks ago.
Which is sad.
It is sad.
Like everything. I think they lost like everything. I mean, I think a lot of their stock was at least stored off-site.
Yeah.
Because they were like, so they were in Green Park Station. It was Wolf Wine. If you've ever been to Bath and you've been to Green Park, you may have seen their little pop-up stand there.
Yeah, and there were like, I think there were about 6 of these sort of huts in that area, and all of them burned down. So there was, I used to go get a sandwich, like a breakfast sandwich and a coffee from the cafe there all the time. Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah, it's sad.
It is sad. And so they have found a home for some other wines at Refillable, which is really nice. Small businesses helping each other out, finding new ways to do things together. Yeah, so we had a really nice wine tasting.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I think Carmen found her new favorite wine.
I did.
I was surprised you didn't leave with all of the bottles they had there of that one, because you were like, yep, this is basically it should be called Carmen's wine.
Yes, except for it's like twice as expensive as what I normally spend on wine.
There you go. So that might have something to do with it. But it was lovely.
It was really nice. So it's gonna sit there. It was like rich though, so I'm gonna save that for like autumn, winter.
Yeah, autumn, winter.
But I also walked away with a bottle of white.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that one was really good. That one was
nice.
really light and minerally, and had a bit of fruitiness to it, but it wasn't like, it was again a really easy drinking.
Very easy drinking wine. Can't remember the name of any of them at the moment. But the thing I found really interesting about the whites, they had cheese and chocolate for us to try with the wines. And the whites in particular, the flavor really changed with cheese. Yeah,
which is really surprising, because this was one of the things that they brought up too, was you don't really think a lot of the time as pairing whites with cheeses. Like you think of that more of a red kind of activity. But the whites that he had there went really well with the cheeses. There was a truffle one, which actually didn't go as well with the whites, which was interesting.
It went well with the first white,
the
but
kind of creamier
one. Go well with the second white. It was like,
it was like almost like, no, we don't want those two flavors together. No. And then there was a smoky Gouda, and then there was like more of a aged cheddar, which was really nice.
That was the one that went really well with the second white. Also, chocolate and white wine was a terrible combination.
Yeah, Carmen learned that.
I was like,
which we actually learned was because actually the sugar content in white wine is less than sugar content in red wine, and the reason that chocolate pairs so well with it is that the chocolate brings some bitterness to it, and it gets balanced out by the sweetness in the red, which is actually really interesting, because you know, you think chocolate, like, that's a sweet, but it's not. It is a sweet, but it's not like full sugar sweet, right?
No, these were dark chocolates as well, so it wasn't like a 20% milk chocolate or something. But yeah, I learned a lot. It was interesting. Very well
really good
presented.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to our new friends.
Yep. We love them.
Obviously, we made friends.
Yeah.
The wine merchant.
Yeah, it was funny because Carmen and I talked about this, like going to the events like this can be so funny because you get a mix of people, and everybody is always so polite and shy at the beginning, and I think one thing that Carmen and I have going for us is that we can kind of fall into our Americanness a bit, and like people give us a little bit of a break for being a bit obnoxious.
Well, especially here, like the Brits are a little bit more reserved, a little bit more cautious to start chatting. And we were talking about afterwards, because both of us have been in the other position of like presenting to a group or trying to teach something, and then you stand there hoping to interact with the crowd and no one says anything, and then you feel like you're just doing a dance.
You're like, okay, am I making any sense?
Oh, anyone interested? I'm gonna be crazier. So I also always like to try to be the person that like says something back.
Like, exactly. Like engages the presenter out and like add something to the conversation. Pretends it is a conversation.
There was a woman standing next to you who kept looking at us. I was like, oh, she really hates us.
Which, I mean, I guess the thing is like I can get, it's so funny when I've been living here now for a while, when I go back home, I am shocked every time when I start hearing other Americans speak, and I'm like, oh my god, why is everybody so loud? And I'm like, why am I even shocked by that? Because Carmen and I aren't the quietest people.
We are not the quietest people. No.
But I think it's a difference when everyone around you is like they whispering all the time.
And you do, like, I mean, I definitely was louder when I lived in the States. I have mellowed a bit because I've lived here a long time. And you've learned if you speak at your normal volume, you scare people.
You scare the Brits. They're like,
or the Germans,
mice.
for that matter.
Little field mice.
Someone's gonna hate us for this comment.
Exactly. We mean it all in love, both towards the Americans and the Brits.
Yes. It's just one of those observations of being an expat.
Yeah, definitely. It's fun.
But yeah, thanks to Wolf Wine and Refillable for a lovely evening. Yeah.
Definitely.
And then we had some burgers and more wine.
Yeah. Burgers and more wine.
Yeah.
At Burgers and Barrels in Bath.
Yeah.
Which is, if you're ever in Bath looking for the best burger.
It is the best burger.
Yep. And he may not advertise it.
Yeah.
Because we keep telling him to. But their burgers are gluten-free.
They're gluten-free.
Sometimes he actually has gluten-free buns.
Yes.
Sometimes he doesn't, but he'll put it on a beautiful bed of salad for you. Like people were like, I want that. Can I order that? And Ronnie was like, no, it's just for Kayleigh.
Yeah. Like the entire bar was like, what is that on the menu and how do I get one? And he was like, nah, it's just for her.
Just for her. Just for the celiacs.
Yeah. That was quite funny. Yeah. Because then there was a whole conversation about getting a Beyond
meat burger
on the menu.
And Ronnie's definitely one of those, like, he loves his meat. Like, he cares so much about it.
He does. I mean, he also buys way above average quality beef for
that's why they're so freaking delicious.
Yeah, they're very good. And we also hilariously ran into 8 further Americans.
Yes, we did. Yep, who were going on a cruise in Scandinavia.
Yeah.
And over to Iceland as well.
Yeah, so Norway and Iceland were their next stops.
Yeah.
And they basically got orders in just before closing.
Yeah.
And we're really hoping the burgers would be good.
Yeah.
And they were.
And they were.
Yeah.
Because it was really funny. They came in too and they were like, they were saying to us like, oh, are the burgers good? And we are like, oh yeah, they're really good. And he goes, well, but like, I'm an American. Would Americans find them good? And I was like, well,
we happen to actually be American. Yeah. And there was a knitter in the group.
And there was a knitter in the group. So, you know, we sold them.
Knitters are everywhere.
Yeah.
Knitters and Americans are everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a good Friday night.
It was. It was lovely. I hope you all had a good Friday night as well.
Yeah.
Good weekend.
Yeah. It feels like, on the one hand, we are in the middle of summer. Because it's technically staying later, or it's, you know, it's still light out longer.
Yeah,
It's just miserable weather here.
It's miserable weather. It feels a little bit like it's turning to autumn, even though I'm sure we're going to get a heat wave in August or something.
I'm sure.
But it has been actually kind of nice for knitting.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been able to like, kind of delve into my autumn projects and things that I want to wear in autumn. So I feel like it's been like a little bit nice to have the rainy weather, to feel like, okay, it's not horribly hot and I can actually knit in worsted weight wool and not be sweating.
Where are you off to on your next holiday?
Dartmoor.
Are you camping?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Good. We're in a big posh house.
Okay, great.
But in order to balance it out, Sam and I are taking the train to Plymouth and walking from Plymouth to the middle of Dartmoor where the big posh house is.
Of course you are.
So it's like 32K or something. Because we need to, you know.
You need to make it your own vacation.
Yeah, exactly. We need to pretend we're on an adventure.
I love that. Are you dropping like your stuff off at the posh house? No, you're taking all your stuff.
We're backpacking in our big cross-country backpacks. Including 3 bottles of wine for myself. So...
Is that all you're taking for a week?
Just 3 bottles of wine and a bathing suit, that's it.
I love it.
Yep.
That's the right style right there. I'm just hoping for the music festival I'm going to in August that it isn't raining for the whole weekend.
Yeah, otherwise you'll be in welly territory.
And like wellies when it's warm is just...
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Especially camping when it's like humid and wet. It's also terrible. So
yeah. Fingers
crossed. Let's make some sacrifices to the weather gods.
Okay. We will work on that.
Yeah.
Alright, so shall we show off what we've been working on first, or do you want to talk about or do you want to open that thing over there that you
oh my god,
are excited to open?
Yes. I am like so excited about this. I've been excited about it for a while. And so this was something that New from Hide and Hammer has been working on. I think she's going to be releasing them on the website, if not already.
I think so. I think they're going to be part of her
next update.
What is she calling them? Hide Hammer Originals.
Oh,
I think
okay.
is what she's calling drops. Yeah.
And so she has been showing off some of them on her story. So if you follow New of Hide and Hammer on Instagram, you will have seen what I'm about to open?
Yes.
But basically, once she posted this, I was like, because she wrote on this one, oh my god, I don't know if this is gonna make it online, because she wanted it for herself.
Yeah.
And then I messaged her, I was like, oh my god, it better, because I want it.
And then you got a little bit of VIP treatment.
I got a little bit of VIP treatment, which was totally unexpected.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited. And of course, too, she dropped it off the other day to Carmen.
Yeah.
But she's wrapped it up.
Yeah. It's like a present. Like, Kayleigh knows what she's getting.
I know what I'm getting.
But
it's going to be so much better than online. Oh my god. This is, yes.
Oh my god. It's
beautiful.
So good.
I love those colors.
Yeah.
Like that bluey green is so, I feel like Kayleigh.
Yes, yes it is.
And I love
but the other side,
oh my
these,
gosh,
like,
yes.
splashes of pink.
That's so cute.
So good.
Yes.
I'm quite jealous.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah, so Nu's been doing this tie top bag style thing for a while, but she's just started doing a few ice dyed
And
versions.
this one is so cool.
And I believe that one of her teammates, Charlotte, dyed this one, so they've been doing it as like a team activity.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Because, you know, the ice dyeing is just super fun.
Yeah. I've wanted one of these tie tops for a while, actually.
They're very practical.
I've seen, you have quite a few of them, right?
Actually, I only have one of those.
Oh, you only have one? Okay.
Susan has a couple.
I love is it the dark green one?
Yeah, got like a green and black gingham.
Yeah, very cute. So I've been wanting one for a while, actually, so when I saw that, I was like, yes.
Yeah, it is good colors.
Yeah, really good colors.
So thanks, Nu.
Yes, thanks, Nu. You've made someone very happy.
Yes. We promise not to take advantage of you in the future.
No, definitely not. I mean, the customers need some as well.
Yes,
so.
absolutely. All right, and then I feel like I want to show off the fact that I've actually knit a few stitches.
So let's talk about our whips then.
Yeah. So I've had nothing to show off, and I have done almost no knitting in the last few weeks. I did work.
You've been very busy.
I have been very busy. We had knit night a couple weeks ago here in the shop, and I did work on my Stockholm V-neck.
Oh, okay.
So that's just like,
yeah.
I'm in the body just like around and around, so I keep saving that for things like knit night. And I've been meaning to cast on my Fierce.
Yeah.
I didn't bring the swatch. I could show the swatch off. Because I did swatch. I am
which
on
is
gauge,
very good, but
which
not
is
row
very
gauge.
exciting. Not row gauge, like way off on row gauge, but such is my life. I think it's fine because my row gauge is much tighter.
Yeah.
No.
Tighter.
Yeah, it's much tighter.
Like you're not getting as many rows as you need. Or you're getting more
No, I'm
rows.
getting way more rows than I need, which means I'm not in danger of like having my armpit too high, so that's fine. Yeah, so I'm gonna show off. I've finally cast on my Fierce today. I have it
done.
I have it in my OG, one of my OG hide and hammer bags, the berry, which is like my favorite.
I love that color.
Yeah. It came into rotation.
I'd flip that with that color as like a gingham.
That would be cool. I don't know if she's got that. So it looks like I'm almost nowhere, but I have spent all afternoon on this because of the way it's constructed.
Yes.
So it's a little bit, it's not fiddly, but you gotta pay some attention. So this is, if I weren't in that spot, basically, that's that.
Yep.
These are my shoulders. That's the back. There's no front yet.
So we'll see it side by side so you can kind of show how it is. So basically where she is basically here on my sweater. You want to point to it, Carmen?
Yeah,
right
like
here.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's a weird place to start.
It is new to me.
Yeah. But it works out.
It does.
So
I mean, well, we can see it on yours.
Yeah.
So, I'm very excited to be started. I'm gonna keep working on it this evening.
Yep.
Yeah, so as soon as I hopefully get to joining the body, then again, we'll just be...
You get a little bit more a groove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just so fun watching the colors change.
Yeah.
That's what I love about color work with Spin Cycle.
Yeah, definitely.
Keeps you
I think
motivated.
that's the thing, actually. Until I've started to get actually right down here where this pink starts again, it's really hard to see on camera. So I'm using Wild Lilac as my main and Love Spell as my contrast color. And it's a little bit hard to see on camera. It's like a pink, white, blue, purple,
Yeah.
green, all very, very light though. quite pale pastel-y, but a bit neon-y
It's
as
like
well.
a neon pastel.
Neon pastel, yeah. But there's this really rich pinky purple that's coming in now.
Nice.
And I feel like that's what it's been missing.
Yeah.
Like, it really needs that brightness.
Is that the end of your first skein?
No, no, that's the middle of my second.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, middle of my second.
Nice.
So I think once it's, once you get a little bit further with the spin cycle, that's when you get to really see like the beauty of it. Because it kind of,
cycle.
Yep, you have to.
Yep.
So, yes, so I actually haven't done that much on this since last weekend.
Because you did something else.
Because I did something else. So I realized I was doing a lot of knitting while watching sport. And this is actually, it's actually not that difficult once you get into a groove with it, but you do have to kind of keep looking at the chart because it does change every row.
Yeah.
And because it's like these tiger stripes, it's not like creating a flower or creating a little
can't
leaf.
see where it's
you
going
kind of,
necessarily,
exactly. So it's not as memorizable as other patterns of color work. But because I was watching a lot of sport, I was watching the cricket, I was watching Wimbledon, I was just kind of like, I need something that I can just do quite mindlessly.
Yeah.
And I've been talking to you all last time about the yarn I brought back from the States, the Noro.
Yep.
And if you remember...
In Carmen pink.
Yes, in Carmen pink. If you remember, we had talked about on last episode that I was going to just leave it. I was going to pair it with a mohair.
Yep.
And then basically I just didn't do that. I paired it with the mohair. So here's my swatch. This is paired with the mohair. So you can see they're little like kind of white strands throughout, and that's the silk coming through. But I think it works quite nice because the Noro is already like very tweedy, so it just kind of adds a little bit more texture to it. Yeah. And it really didn't detract from the color.
It did not. You picked the right mohair to go with. Yeah. It's still a deep, bright magenta.
Exactly. Yeah. But I actually, the mohair that I picked was the Aurora and Cherry. Okay. And that's a lot darker looking in the skein than you would think, like, and so you would think it would just kind of really mute it, and that's what we had been talking about, is we thought, oh no, that's going to mute it too much. But when I swatched with it, I was like, actually no, it's perfect.
This is the thing with the mohairs, like, the color always looks much more dense in the ball, but when you start just getting one strand out, it's actually a much lighter color.
Definitely.
You have to get a bit used to that. So the best thing to do when you're trying to pair them up is to take one strand of each thing and sort of like twist them to try and get an idea of what it'll look like.
Yeah, definitely.
That
or
color
just
density.
Buy one and do a swatch.
Do that too.
Because that's what I did.
Best way to do it.
I was like, okay, I'm not going to buy all 3 balls of the mohair because I don't want then 3 balls of this random color mohair. But I was like, I'll buy one and see what it's like swatching. And as soon as I did the swatch, I was like, okay, I know what I'm doing now.
Yeah. Yeah, you sent me a photo. You were like, oh my god.
I was like, yep, that's what I want. That's what I was looking for. And with the mohair, I was actually on gauge for the pattern. Nice. Which is the Weekend V-neck Slipover by PetitKnit.
Okay.
So I went with that one, especially because I got gauge. Yeah. And I thought, okay, then I'll actually be able to get the size that I want. Now, saying that, I have, so I cast on this sweater on Saturday night last week, and I finished it last night.
So that's like 8 days.
8 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, what, 7 days actually, really?
Yeah, 7 days,
because I started in the evening, I finished it in the evening. So now it's at home blocking, which is why I don't have it here, and you'll see it probably in the next episode. Yeah. But it is oversized, but that's how it's intended. I followed the instruction in terms of what she recommended for the size, how to measure. Decided to go for the size medium, which is a 44-inch bust, and I have a 38. Okay. That's my full bust. Yeah. I have a 36 upper bust. Okay. And so I was debating, but she said basically if you have between a 35 and a 38, go for this size. Okay. And then I was like, okay, well, if my full bust is this and my upper bust is this, then that will at least fit. Yeah, range, I'm in that range. I haven't tried it on after it's blocked, but I did try it on before it was blocked, and I felt like it was a little bit like I'm worried it's going to be too big.
Okay.
But now that I've blocked it, it's weird because typically for blocking, I always find things grow, not shrink.
Depends.
I know. And so when I measured it without blocking, it was 46.
Okay.
Now that I've done it, now I've blocked it,
Yeah.
I have like one of the Cocoa Knits mats, right?
Oh, yeah.
That you can measure it out.
Yep.
It is 44. And so I'm like, how the heck did that happen?
Well, because you did your gauge swatch.
Yeah.
And you blocked that when you measured it. And like magic,
But
when you do these things, they work out.
I was complaining to my mom last night. I was like, I did everything properly. I didn't rush through it. Like, why is it not coming out the right size? How did I get 2 more inches? And she was like, have you blocked it yet? And I was like, no. She's like, okay, we'll block it first and then complain later. And so I blocked it. And yeah, I just always think that things grow when they block. Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of times you get it just kind of drapes.
Yeah.
So I think that idea of it growing is because the blocking usually relaxes the fibers, which we tend to think of as growing somehow.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily
or
true.
Blooming. There's a lot of yarns that bloom afterwards. But this one didn't. And actually looking at it on the blocking mat, it doesn't look like huge. Yeah. So I think it will actually look quite nice. Once
you can
it's
wear
done.
it over like a blouse. Or
yeah,
something.
exactly.
It doesn't have to be a fitted top underneath.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be oversized. And like, this is another thing I was saying to my mom. I was like, sometimes with oversized things, I'm always like, I feel like a little bit uncomfortable or a little bit worried that it's going to be so oversized. And if you're not like somebody who's stick thin, like it might not look right on you. Yeah. Because like oversized things on models look different than they do on just normal people. Yes.
They do. Our perception of what oversized should look like is a bit skewed from the images we see online.
But at the same time, I never really commit fully to the oversized look, and I feel like sometimes then I end up with something in between and I'm a little bit disappointed, like, oh, maybe I should have just fully committed. So I fully committed this time. We'll see how it goes. You'll learn next episode. I'll bring it in, I'll wear it.
We can try it on.
We can try it on. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's nice that you have an FO.
Yes, I do. And I was like, I can't believe that only took 1 week.
Well, you were also watching sport, which is a really good time to knit.
But I was also like really busy last week. So I'm a little bit like, how the heck did that happen?
Well, you didn't have any PhD work last week.
No, I didn't. I finally got my comments back this weekend. Okay. So, yeah.
But Kayleigh turned in her PhD.
I did.
On time.
Yep. I have comments and they're a little bit soul destroying. So we'll see how it goes. I was about to have like a meltdown before this. But I need to go through them. I think what I said to Sam actually was, I'm actually not going to look at this chapter, and I'm just going to look at all the other comments from other chapters that I need to look at first, and then at that point, after going through the first 3, when I get to this 4th one, I think I'll have a better idea of what I actually wanted to do and respond to them. Yeah. So I was like, I think it's a little bit too close to home still.
Because it's the chapter you just turned in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the new plan. But at least I'm at the point where it is just edits now.
Yay!
So yeah.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
Very exciting.
So, anywho, that's our, what's it called?
What's on the needles.
What's on the needles,
yeah. And what's off the needles. I was hoping to have my Kangas finished finally, but I just didn't have any time for that. There was a customer in the shop on Friday when I was working, Emma, and we were having that conversation because I said, oh, what's on your needles at the moment? She said, actually, I've been working on a couple things that like we're just sitting there for no good reason. Like I just needed to spend an evening on it, and I was like, oh yeah, that's just like the story of my life currently. Like if I just spent an evening on 1 or 2 things, I'd have like 4 projects finished very quickly.
Definitely.
So
yeah, the Kangas one will be good for autumn too.
Yeah, definitely.
You'll want that one.
Yeah. Right. So we thought we would do a whole segment on knits to knit while watching sport. Yep. In the summer, because there's a lot of sport on.
There is a lot of sport. It's also, some sport is like cricket. You don't really need to pay attention that much. Like, you know, you want to like watch the balls as they come, and you know, you want to see some good ones, but it kind of takes a while. I mean, it's a few days long, and you know, you got a lot of time on your hands there. So,
well, and with like tennis and Wimbledon, like with Sandra Wimbledon, usually knits an entire sweater during Wimbledon. Like it's her Wimbledon sweater.
But Wimbledon finished today. There is other sport that will be happening, but even if you're not a sport fan, kind of knits that you would knit while watching television or listening to an audiobook, something where you want to be doing something else.
Yeah.
And you
but isn't maybe like super duper mine, like isn't the most boring round and round ever. And, yeah.
So we've got a few. Do you want to start with yours, Carmen?
I can start with mine, yeah. I picked a pattern that came out this week from Thea Colman because I think it's absolutely adorable.
It's super cute.
Yeah, it's called Blueberry Vodka Lemonade. She has a vodka lemonade cardigan.
Oh,
from
really?
Several
Okay,
years back.
cute. Yeah.
And this is a blueberry vodka lemonade. And it's just
so cute.
It's really cute. It's got a nice neckline, you know, not too open but not too crew neck. It's got a raglan sleeve, a raglan shoulder with like eyelets around it, so it's like a decorative shoulder. It's got like an elbow length sort of mini balloon sleeve, I'm gonna call it, because you know that's in, but it's not super oversized.
No, it's not.
And then it's kind of, I'd say, high hip. You could probably crop it a little more if you wanted to, with a split hem.
Super cute.
And a little detail like right under the arm down the side. So very cute. Her patterns are really well written. This is done in a 4-ply, so a lovely summer knit still. If you want
Did I tell you too, my mom was like, is Carmen gonna come out with a 4-ply soon so I can knit the sweater? Like Carmen or Max and Vincent. It's like, well, Max and Vincent can hook you up.
Oh, wow. Okay, no pressure there for a new yarn. We got something in the works for you, but I don't know. I should praise it for that. Anyway, well, I'm divulging too much right now.
Nope.
So, yeah, 4-ply. I think you can go a lot of ways with this. The yarn she's used is 100% wool. So you could go pretty woolly, as it were. And like on the rustic side, like you could use Brooklyn Tweed Loft, which I didn't actually grab. But I think knitting for olive merino, that's not gonna focus. So I just pulled a really dark gray. We just got more of this in stock. But this is a lovely, soft yarn that is just a good all-arounder. And we have a whole lot of colors, lots of like sort of muted tones, but also some bright
color. I want to do it in this color.
What color do you have there?
This is petroleum green.
Yeah, that is a good one. So I had slate gray there, and then I've also got slate green, which I absolutely love. Why are you not focusing? Oh,
took a minute for me.
So anywho, I would quite like this.
Yeah, that would be.
I love a dark green.
That would be really great.
And there's kind of a nice tweediness in here that it's not flat.
Definitely.
So that would be very nice. The Fibre Company Cumbria fingering is a good choice for a knit like this.
Yep.
Lots of lovely shades. Also Mondim from Rosa Pomar. That's a lovely Portuguese wool.
I've been really wanting to use Mondim actually. I keep like going back to it. Like when I see new patterns come out and fingering weight, I keep thinking, you know what, actually I think it's time that I tried the Mondim because I've never used it before.
It is very, very nice.
Yeah.
Alex has used it for a few things. Or I thought you could do a drapier version, like a slightly, like a slinkier, dressier version, I guess I would call it, in Magpie Swanky Sock, which is a merino, cashmere, and nylon blend that just has absolutely gorgeous drape.
It'd be gorgeous.
And just
especially
enough
with the eyelet.
Yeah.
I feel like that would make it really quite swanky.
And again, I've pulled like the dark green Jupiter Rising.
Yeah. I also think actually with the swanky sock, if you're not like somebody who has typically gone for a balloon sleeve, that would actually relax it so much more, because in this, if you look at this one online, or in the picture that we put up, it has structure to it because it is 100% wool. Yeah. But actually, if you like the idea of a balloon sweater, but you're a little bit worried, oh, I've never worn that style before, this would actually relax it a little bit more. How does it fit under
my coat?
Yeah, maybe? Yeah. The swanky actually would relax it and like add some really cool kind of, just like drapes to it. Yeah. I think it would look really elegant.
It would be very elegant. Yeah. I'd be tempted to do that. Yeah. Again, I'm having a dark green moment today.
Yeah.
So that's my first pick. How about you?
So, I picked a few ones, but one I've had in my queue for a while is the Gingerbread sweater by, I can never pronounce this shop. It's in Montreal.
I think it's Espace Tricot.
Espace Tricot?
I believe that is what I've been told.
Yep.
I do not speak the French.
Yep. Well, it's better than me saying Espace Tricot.
I mean, yeah.
You say that and you're like, yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's just wrong. Definitely not it. Espace Tricot.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't say it that way.
That would be a bad name for a shop.
Does not roll off the tongue.
It really doesn't.
But this is one I've wanted to do for a while. It's kind of your classic kind of crew neck top, but it does have those kind of those balloon sleeves as well. But it's got this really cute raglan design and, you know, little rimmed hem. And I think it would just be like one of those ones that you wear all the time.
Yeah. It's a little bit like boxy.
Yep.
Just sort of easy.
A little bit boxy, yeah. Really
Yeah.
easy to throw on, good for dresses. I've just been wanting to do this basically in this yarn, in the Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair and the merino.
Yeah, so this one is a mohair held along with it.
Yeah. There we go.
There. It's making it dark.
Yeah,
it is. Our lighting in here today is a bit...
I think it's moody.
Yeah, the outside light keeps changing on us, which means the camera is having some issues deciding how to light us.
And then actually another yarn that I thought, well, it's the same yarn, but a different color. And this is new. We haven't had this before.
No.
And I think it's such a cool color.
It is a cool color.
Good job.
Thanks. Thanks.
This is called Purple Elephant.
And it's, is it purple? Is it gray?
Is it blue?
Is it blue?
What is it?
What color is it?
Yeah. And I think this one could be really fun to use with mohair, actually.
Yes.
Because if you paired it with, like, say, more of a blue,
yeah,
it would then pull that out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you did it with, like, the lilac,
yeah,
that's like, I think, the obvious kind of pairing there of, like, oh, which of these really goes well. And then, but I think actually this is the one that I think I would do.
that is very nice. It's like a gray blue sort of.
Like a gray bluey purple.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I think that would just be so cool together.
That would be very nice. I'm into that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be my choice for this sweater.
Okay.
Another one that I pulled because I've done this one.
Ah, yes.
Is Woodblock by Emily Green.
It's a good sweater. It's really cute.
It was a sweater I did in lockdown version 2.0. 2.0, yeah, it was the November lockdown.
Okay, yeah.
We were locked down in the UK for 1 month, beginning of November to the end of November, I think.
Yeah.
Then we came out for like Christmas, and then we had to go into lockdown.
And then we were locked down again for a long time. Very long.
So lockdown 2.0. I feel like actually thinking about all of the lockdowns, I can't decide if that's my least favorite lockdown for that 1 month, or if lockdown 3.0 was my least favorite.
I don't, honestly. I mean, 3.0 was a
long time.
And it was, you know, I think we were all feeling very tired of all of it by that point.
Definitely.
It was getting harder.
I also couldn't see Sam during that time.
Oh, really?
Because I was supposed to move to the Netherlands. Our lease on where we were living came up, and he had already made arrangements for where he was going to live. So already signed a lease.
Oh.
And then I had to live in a place for 6 months by myself.
Oh.
Until we moved to Bath.
Right.
And so because of the bubble situation, his house was already bubbled with another house, so I couldn't bubble with them.
So you were just by yourself?
So I was just by myself. I bubbled with my friend Dan and his dog Rusty.
I mean, as long as there's a dog involved.
Yeah, exactly. I was kind of like, actually, you're lost, Sam.
Yeah?
You can't see Rusty, I can.
You can't see the dog. Aww.
So, but anyway, I knit this sweater during lockdown 2.0. And I brought it with me. Classic Kayleigh color.
Yeah, it is a classic.
But it's got these beautiful just like it's all knits and pearls, right? But it's got this really lovely kind of architectural spires going throughout.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it's really subtle. And I thought it's actually really flattering too to wear.
Yeah, it's very cute
this
on
one.
you.
Yeah. And so Emily Green actually did this for Brooklyn Tweed.
Okay.
So this is Brooklyn Tweed's Peary, which is now discontinued.
Yes.
So it's my only Peary sweater. I know. But another kind of, you could do it in any other kind of fingering weight as well.
Yeah.
I'd go for something that is probably a worsted spin.
Yeah, so the knitting for olive Merino we've talked about.
That would be really good.
Garth Nor Porcelli would be really nice.
Oh yeah, it'd be gorgeous.
The Mondim.
Yeah, Mondim. I mean, you could also do it in spinny, actually held together.
Yeah, a couple of spinnies together. I think Opus might work.
Yeah, I could see it being an Opus. It would be a little bit more drapey because of the alpaca in Opus, but that could work. Oh no, this is the DK now. I was also going to say Julie Aslin Fino.
Yeah,
again, would be a little bit drapier, but it's like got one of those really smooth, it's a really smooth yarn. And so I think it would show off the architectural details of it quite well.
Very good. You could do a summer weight in the cotton merino from Knitting for Olive as well.
Yeah, that would be good.
That'd be a nice blend. Do it a little bit lighter.
That'd be lovely. Yeah. Yeah, that would be really good, actually.
That's a yarn
especially
because
of the short sleeve,
as well. Oh, just too much knitting.
Too much knitting.
Yeah.
You need to just not sleep.
I've not even been sleeping very much. I can't even like say I'm well rested at the moment.
Oh, that sucks.
It's fine. No one feels sorry for me. It's all right. Yeah. So my next pick is an oldie but goodie. It's a like long time favorite shop sample of ours. It's called the Tam Du Shawl by Melanie Berg. I have our version right here,
which of course
is in colors that are discontinued. Well, just one. The purple in this is discontinued. So this is what the shawl looks like in our version.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, so you've got these garter stripes and then these lace panels. And one of the things I love about this, and many a knitter have sort of made this their first shawl or their first lace work, because you start at this tiny end of the shawl and you're doing garter stitch, and then you do this tiny lace panel, just a little one. It's just a very small bit of lace, which means that if you're not getting it, you're just ripping out a few stitches, so you can like practice in there, and then by the time, and then there's like a little tiny bit more lace and just a little bit more lace, and it's a very simple lace pattern. You don't have to memorize a ton, and by the time you get to this section with a lot of lace,
you're a pro.
Yep. And then you have made a shawl with lace, and in between are garter stitch stripes. So this is a great pattern.
And it keeps it interesting too, because you are switching every few you know, in those different sections. So I think that's the thing. Sometimes when it is just like stockinette all the way around, you're like, oh my god, when is this gonna be done? When am I gonna finish this? Because I am so freaking bored. So you want something to change it up a little bit, which is actually why shawls are really good to knit. Especially if you want to learn a new technique. They're great thing to practice things on.
Absolutely.
When I first started working the shop, I think I said this in episode 1, I was like super into shawls because I was so afraid of knitting a sweater, because I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be so complicated, there's all these parts, how am I gonna get fit, how am I gonna get like the gauge right, blah blah blah, and you don't have to worry about that with shawls so much, right?
Don't at all.
But yeah, so this would be a great
one. I just pulled one color combo in the Fibre Company Cumbria fingering, which is the yarn it was designed in. The original Melanie colorway is still available. We have it as kits on the website as well. So I've just put together Gray Stoke, Black Beck, which is one of our favorite colors, and then Kaluna. So I would probably stripe the green and the gray and make the pink my lace for that. Or you could make it a drapier, sort of
very
swankier, also brighter version in Julie Aslin Fino, which is a merino, cashmere, and silk blend. This one, I don't know, I'm between, I kind of want to stripe the the chartreuse with the gray, and then have these petrol lace panels, but I think you could do
any
version.
You could go any of them.
Chartreuse lace would be cool too.
Yeah, chartreuse lace, or I was thinking these two striping, that lace.
You could, whatever.
Yeah, any of them.
That would be good.
Yeah.
But this is lovely yarn to work with.
Yeah,
I've done a few projects in it. It's very nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that is
be
the
really
last
good
of
one.
my sport knitting picks.
So
what else do you have?
I'm gonna say this is my last one. I have loads of other ones that I picked, but this will be my last one. Is the one I'm currently wearing.
Oh yeah.
So this one I knit last summer. Typically I have it tucked in. Styling wise, there we go. Look at how cool I am. So this is the field sweater. This is an Isager pattern, or Isager.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We'll get there.
You'll see pictures of it on my Instagram if you follow me. But this is something I fell in love with at H&H Cologne last year.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, I have to do that. I have to do it for my holiday, which last year was in North Wales. So I thought it would be a perfect one because we're close to a beach, but it's North Wales. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be cold.
Yeah.
It's also in a very mountainous region.
Yep.
So the altitude can, make it cooler at night.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to do it for that. I actually finished it while on that trip, so I didn't get to wear it. But I've been wearing it this summer, and it's a really lovely one. Actually, I thought it was going to be a little bit itchy, just because it uses the alpaca, which has just the hairs that's kind of poke out and stuff.
It's got guard hairs.
Yeah. But that said, I'm wearing it without anything underneath right now. And it is
So which
lovely.
yarns did you use? Because you didn't use exactly what the pattern calls for.
I didn't.
No.
So the pattern calls for alpaca 1 combined with Merlin,
yeah,
which we don't stock. And so I used Bumulin with alpaca 1. Yeah, and that's all it was.
Yeah, and the Bumulin is a cotton linen.
Oh, and trio.
Oh, and
trio.
trio.
It's mixed with trio. Sorry, that is in the original one. So you hold alpaca 1 with the trio.
Yeah.
And then you hold Merlin, which is just the white.
Okay.
And so what I did is I held Bumulin with alpaca 1 in white.
Okay.
And alpaca 1 in the rust color with trio.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is one of those I would really like to do as well. It just is very cute to wear.
And you knit it inside out.
Right.
So you reverse stocking it.
Yeah. So you don't have to purl a whole bunch, don't worry.
And actually, if you woven your ends, if you weren't like me and woven your ends like...
So you can see them.
Really visible on the other side, you could actually wear it both ways.
Yeah, we could do a Russian join.
Yes, you could.
Yeah.
Yep. Basically, after I did wove them all in, I was kind of like, oh crap, I should have done that. Oh well.
I did that on my Mon Monet, both of them. I did a Russian join so I could wear it reversibly, but I've never actually worn the stockinette, so I've just always reverse stockinette. That also makes me think earlier when I was casting on my Fierce, just about techniques. Like, I for the life of me cannot get a provisional cast on correct.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you do it the way that she said in that one?
So I did a crochet provisional cast on.
Okay.
But clearly I'm not doing it right because it does not unravel. Like I had...
Oh, really?
You know what took me a ton of time? Is that I had to like unweave my cast on like out of it. I was just like, I know, why is this so hard? But it wasn't the first time. I did that recently with something else where I had to provisionally cast on. I was like, what is my problem?
Well, so I've always done a provisional cast on where you actually do the crochet chain and then you knit into it.
Oh.
I've done it that way, but I did it the way that she said to do it with the crochet hook and your needle.
Yeah.
And that one I think is actually really interesting. But that one, ripped out fun for me, so I'm not sure what you're doing wrong.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing wrong either, so I will investigate that in more detail at some point, but today I was like, I just need to like, I need to keep moving. I need to keep moving. But I think it's funny how just some techniques are like,
I've never been able to crack that.
I don't know why. It's not hard. Like, it's really not hard. I also had multiple people show me.
Yeah.
Anywho,
but so those are our kind of top knits for the week.
Yeah. And then we've got one more project to talk about. because Andrew Mowry came
Oh,
out
yes!
with
Okay.
her
I was like,
Rhinebeck
what's that?
sweater this week. The
Yes.
tessellated pullover and vest. So she's done a vest and a pullover.
Yeah.
And it is quite cool.
It is. It is.
It's quite
It's
cool.
interesting, actually. The pullover, when it first came out, I was kind of like, nope, that one is not for me. And then I have been looking at it the last few days and looking at other people's samples of it, and I'm like, actually, it's really cute. And I think the thing that threw me off first was that 3-needle bind off at the shoulder that she does, so it's really visible.
I see,
and
I
then it's
like
really,
that.
yeah. But
Yeah.
it looks really boxy on her, and I think
Okay.
it's the way that it's blocked
Okay.
on her, on her sample.
Yeah.
Whereas all the other samples I've seen, it's not as boxy looking.
Yeah.
And like I think in the original picture, she just has that like thing going down the side, and it's just because it's like been folded in a weird way.
Oh.
And like
Yeah, that
that's
could be.
visually made me be like, that's a bit weird. What's going on there? But actually then looking at loads of the kind of test knits on Ravelry and like the different sizing people did too, because Andrea Mowry actually went with a lot more ease than she normally does for herself. And looking at the kind of samples where there's like 3-inch ease rather than 3-inch positive ease rather than 6-inch positive ease, I'm like, okay, I think I would want to do the 3-inch.
Yeah.
So again, this goes back to knowing kind of yourself, the way that you like to wear knits, and how it's going to look then on you.
Yeah. And what ease means.
Yeah, what ease means, yeah.
And how to measure that. Yeah, because she, I think, says she does a size 4, at least in the vest. And so designers tend to size all their stuff similarly, so if you do a lot of their patterns, you know usually what size you are of their design. And I actually tend to be like a 3 or 4 in hers, because they tend to have a lot of ease in them. And I don't like to wear my sweaters with loads and loads of amounts of positive ease. So when I read that, I was like, you're wearing the size 4?
Yeah,
like,
I know, I was surprised by that too.
That is, okay. So,
but then when you look at it, on how she styled it, you can see why she's done that, because she is like wearing layers underneath and stuff like that. I think I'm going to do the size 3.
Okay.
Which is the 40-inch one, which will only give me 3 inches.
Okay, are you doing the pullover now or the vest?
Oh, the vest. Okay. I'm doing the vest.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the vest as well for time's sake more than anything else. Yeah, so I just love the vest, you know.
Yep, I already bought the yarn for the vest before the pattern was even freaking released, so that's why I'm doing the vest.
Yeah, you did come in and choose a bright color palette.
I feel like it's like not expected for me.
Let's let the audience be the judge of that, Kayleigh.
So this is what I'm going for. It's very bright.
It's very bright. It's not very high contrast though.
No, it isn't.
So it is
like,
orange.
It is very orange.
Super duper orange. Yeah, so tell us what yarns you're using.
So I'm using, for my color A, which is the background color, I'm using Opus in Aperol, which is very bright orange.
Yeah.
I typically don't go for this orange.
No.
I typically go for like a rusty orange. So very bright, but we're having a neon moment. I'm leaning into it.
Love it.
I also just bought a like workout outfit.
Which you were wearing.
Which I was wearing when I bought this year. And then I'm pairing it with the Isagar Silk Mohair in shade 64.
Which is the palest of the colors.
Yes, which is the palest of the colors that I'm using. And even though people keep saying it's not high contrast, which it's not, I agree. But they're like contrast in terms of tone.
Yeah, it's a tonal contrast.
Yes.
It's a bright palette.
Bright palette.
But not high contrast.
Not high contrast. But, and then also like, they're different oranges.
Yeah. It's a different way to play with color.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think,
you know, not everything has to be high contrast, not everything has to be subtle, not every, you know, this is the bright
The reason I went for not high contrast then was because the color is so in your face.
Yeah.
That I feel like having loads of in your face colors was just going to be like a little bit too much outside my comfort zone. People can rock it. I don't know if I'm one of them, or if I don't know if I have the confidence to rock it yet. Whereas this is like my confidence builder. So to wear bright colors.
I went for, so I'm also gonna do the vest because I just don't have time for sleeves, let's be honest. And I have gone high contrast and bright.
Yeah,
All at the
exactly.
same time. So I've been wanting to use this color of Opus for a while, and I actually really want to make a great gingham in it, but I haven't found the right contrast color. So this is what we're doing. I am using Bumblebee, which is a bright lemon yellow.
Yep. It's good yellow.
Yes, and then I'm gonna pair it with Big Sky, which is also sort of in the pastel neon category, a bit brighter than the Love Spell you're using. Yep. And then I am throwing in the Neon Pink Aurora number 59 from Rosario's.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
This is going to be my very bright, very fun, very neon.
Yeah, that's gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun to wear.
I think it's gonna be super fun to wear.
Too bad like you can't have it done by Friday for the Barbie premiere.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been fun.
That would be really cool, but like not
doable.
A chance in hell that happen. I mean, if I skived off every other bit of work I had to do this week.
Just like went into a hole somewhere.
I mean, I do have a hair appointment.
Ooh, there you go.
On Wednesday.
So maybe a cast on. Well, you have your fierce.
I do have my fierce that also needs to be done. We're also not going to go see Barbie on Friday because we're not in town.
No.
So
that's fine. You have an extra week.
There was part of me that almost switched out the Bumblebee for Taffy and then to the neon yellow. The other thing is this is actually the last ball of this color in the shop. I've ordered more, so I kind of have to wait for it to come in. Yeah, because I think I need 2.
Yeah,
I need 2.
I think you will.
Because I have to hold it double.
Oh, do you? Do you hold it double?
I think so.
Pattern? I haven't looked at it yet.
It's with a Surrey.
Oh yeah,
which is thicker. I think. I haven't read the pattern yet, so I also don't know what size I'm doing. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, at Rhinebeck, you will see us with our fierce sweaters.
And our neon.
And our neons, and our tessellated vests, and some hats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some neon hats.
Neon hats. You won't be able to miss us, is what we're saying.
Basically.
Back to like being loud and obnoxious Americans.
We're really leaning into that, I guess.
We are. We're having fun.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Well, since this is our second to last episode, or penultimate, as they say, I love using that word when I can.
It's a good word.
It's a good word. If there's anything you want to see in our last episode, before we break for August, then please let us know in the comments. We have some ideas of what to talk about.
We do.
But
I do know what we're drinking already.
Ooh, there we go.
So for that, got a bottle saved up.
Ooh, there we go. Very fancy.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It is fancy, don't worry.
Love it.
But we'll need to pick outfits and stuff too.
We'll need to pick outfits.
It's a finale.
I think we might do a little bit of a wardrobe change.
Might do, yeah.
Yep. On screen. Not really on screen, off screen.
We're not that kind of podcast.
We'll
That's a whole different website.
Yeah, we'll have to go to OnlyFans.
Knit fans.
Knit fans, yeah.
That is
only knits.
You know, I think we have enough channels going.
Yeah, I think
I don't think we need to add that one.
Yeah, we don't need to make a new channel.
All right, so let's go home and finish. Or do some more knitting. I think
do some more knitting. Yep.
So thank you very much for joining us. Please subscribe and follow wherever you're listening or watching. And yeah, let us know what you want to see in the final episode.
See ya.
Bye.